Hi there, welcome to Avery Gardens. I just want to quickly give you a demonstration on the best way to prop up your herbaceous plants. Now this is a lovely Crocosmia. It's a variety called Lucifer. It has big long spires of flower, lovely red flowers on a cluster, and they'll emerge from this foliage kind of late June into July, and they get really tall. They can go up to about 1.5 meters, 150 centimeters, which is about 4 or 5 foot. So they can get really tall. And this border here is facing the sun, so it's facing south. And so the habit of this growth is going to want to reach and lean towards the sun. Particularly with Crocosmias as well, they tend to have this kind of arching habit. So the sword-like foliage will come up and the flowers will kind of come out and lean. And that can mean that they can flop everywhere. Now you can leave them. The best thing to do often is to plant them in busy clumps, so they kind of all the plants self-support. But because this is an isolated plant, the chances are that it's going to flop. So we just want to give it some support. Now a lot of people tend to support plants at the point when they need supporting. Now that often makes plants look quite artificial. So they have this kind of sprawling habit, and then you'll prop them back and they'll kind of look a little bit unnatural and out of place. So the best thing to do is be proactive and to support them before they need supporting. So the plant grows into the support, it's held up, but you wouldn't know it's held up once it starts growing. There's a few options. The most simple is a couple of bamboo canes. Put one in the ground, crisscross like that, and the plant will grow into the support and it will hold up. And these bamboo canes are good, they're biodegradable, they're reusable, so you can put them in the ground, you can kind of have them at different angles if you want. Really easy to use, but as I said, if you do this when it's too late, you'll just hold back the foliage and it will look unnatural. So if you're going to use bamboo canes, put them in now, so the sword-like foliage will grow up behind the canes, and it will hold the foliage and the flowers up naturally, and the foliage will hide the support, so you won't even know they're there. So that's the bamboo option. Another option is these plant supports. These are quite fiddly and quite tricky. You can get other ones, I've got a few more over there, but the principle's the same. You put them in the ground, you can get all sorts of weird and wonderful attachments for them. So you can join them and you can create all types of different shapes. You can kind of adjust it to the shape of the plant you want. Again, they are a little bit overkill, I think. They're more nice, these are nicer in kind of cottage gardens, for things like delphiniums, because they have that kind of more, this more cottage garden feel. They're a bit more formal, and you'll see them, like I said, in more cottage garden environments. So because this is more of a wild, more shrub border, and it's kind of in and around woodland, I want it to look like it's basically not being supported at all. And so what I tend to use is these homemade kind of loops, these rings. This customer here has got a lot of these old steel bars. They're not quite big enough, so this one's probably not big enough, but you can easily make this shape out of one of these. You can just bend it, and then you can stand on this, push that up like that, and you've got a little ring that you can put into the ground to support plants. So put that in like so. You can see it's too low, but you get the idea. You can get this wire, this metal material in longer sizes. So this is the thing that I tend to use the most. If I can get these bigger, these are the best things to use because they're quite innocuous. They push into the ground really easily, and the plant will grow into that and it will hide it all. You won't even know it's there. So those metal poles are the best. Just a few options there for your herbaceous plants. It's a good time to do it now. As I said, herbaceous stuff is really beginning to grow. So if you've got plants that you think may flop, tend to be any plants kind of over 1 meter tall. Delphiniums are a prime suspect, Crocosmias, Herbaceous, all the common types of herbaceous plants that you find in your garden. They too tend to flop, particularly if they're facing the sun or against the wall. So be proactive. Loads of different options. A lot of them are cheap. You can make them, like I said, out of all materials you've got in the garden. The main point is you put them in so you don't see the support, and the plant looks as natural as it possibly can in your garden. So get out in the garden. If you've got any herbaceous plants that you're worried about, put in support so the plants can grow into the supports into the season and they can flower healthily and upright.